Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's your boy Malik here, and we have reached the final day of Stage 3 here at the Overwatch League. At the end of the day, our playoff picture will be complete after the matchup between the LA Valiant and the Philadelphia Fusion has played out. But first, we're starting off the day with the London Spitfire going up against the Shanghai Dragons. Now, the London Spitfire, as we all know, they're our Stage 1 champions. They've been a mere shadow of themselves as of late, but they're coming off a big win, and they can end this whole entire stage on a good note. But they got to go through the Shanghai Dragons. And to be honest with you, the Shanghai Dragons, we know they haven't won a game yet, but they always have the home field advantage, and today is kind of crazy. The Blizzard Arena is really feeling them. Blizzard Arena, Shanghai Dragons, is today the day? It's today the day. You hear this? Yo, we cannot delay this any longer. Guys, let's go ahead and get into the day and get this payload moving.
It's the final day of Stage 3 of the regular season. I'm your host, Golden Boy. Welcome, everyone. Blizzard Arena, you're looking beautiful today, as always. I'm rocking my nice pink shirt, so I'm feeling pretty nice about myself. You guys feeling good today? We'll try again a little bit later. I didn't feel like they gave me all that.
They used it all up for the Shanghai.
They really did. Malik just, he steals the thunder so early in the show. Anyway, I'm joined by Crumbs and Reinforced. Gentlemen, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, yeah. Too much caffeine.
Too much caffeine.
Makes the game
I'm loving how
better.
much this arena has turned into an arts and crafts center now. It's all about making sure you have your poster. There's like multi-layered signs that you have to combine together to make an actual larger image. Love it.
I just want to say, someone dabbed in the background. The dab is dead, okay?
No, it isn't.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it. It's 2018. Can we move on? Johnny, are you still dabbing out there?
Yeah, I'm still dabbing out there.
God,
not on
Swedish
broadcast.
people,
I'm a professional.
man.
I don't do it on the stream.
Yes.
But when I'm home, when I'm alone.
When you're home and alone,
Yeah. Why?
I can't even with this guy right now. All right, let's go on and check out the schedule. We got to get some semblance of order on the desk here. We have the Shanghai Dragons against the London Spitfire. And then coming up, we're going to have the Seoul Dynasty against the Houston Outlaws. That's going to be a matchup that I'm sure a lot of fans are really excited for. And then the big matchup, the LA Valiant against the Philadelphia Fusion. And remember, if Philly can get the 4-0 against the Valiant, we will have a tiebreaker best-of-3 match played tonight to determine who gets that fourth and final spot.
I think the crowd is so hyped for Philadelphia Fusion getting that 4-0.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good day. Yeah.
Hey,
I just love to see it.
I think the crowd's going to be hyped no matter what, honestly. So you can see Boston at the top of the standings here. And the other interesting thing that's going to happen, and here's the thing, if we ended up getting this 4-0 sweep, it's going to be ridiculous because then later on, we got to pick Boston's team that they're going to go up against in the playoffs tomorrow because they're the #1 team they get to pick. So there's just a lot of things that's going to happen tonight, potentially, if we get the tiebreaker.
So crazy.
There's a lot. There's a lot. I kind of want it to happen. Who would you pick, by the way? If you're Boston in this situation, we heard Bren yesterday. Bren said, well, the clear answer is to go for the NYXL.
That's stupid.
I like
Stop
that.
right there. No, you don't pick New York. You do the sensible thing and you wait for the last place team to qualify. It's either Philadelphia or the Gladiators, and that's who you pick. There's really no other solid choice.
I don't think so. Stylistically, I don't really agree with that. I think you're pretty scared of the Los Angeles Gladiators if you are the Boston Uprising. Surefour on his Widowmaker, real scary. I'd pick the LA Valiant. They're already in on third.
What?
And I think that, yeah, but I think Surefour is way better than Soon.
I think that Valiant has looked a little more refined than the Gladiators lately, especially in their
No,
previous
the Valiant,
match.
they're rotating in back and forth. Agility,
They should have lost against Mayhem.
There's so much going on here.
Yeah.
It's tension. There's a lot of tension.
Picante.
The desk. It's like we haven't even been like 10 minutes.
You guys
and
are
you're already talking
stealing
about
your
the fight.
lines from
you're
multiple weeks in the past.
I know. All right. Well, hey, let's just move on because at this point, that's the least that we could do. And get into our first matchup of the day. We have the Shanghai Dragons and the London Spitfire. And while both of these teams can't qualify for the Stage 3 playoffs, you have the London Spitfire, who have kind of been battered a little bit throughout from Stage 1 when they were the champions until now, making, you know, some nice recoveries last night. And then you have Shanghai, who continues to simply look better. I mean, that's kind of just been the theme of this team. And let's not forget, yesterday they took a game off of the NYXL, which for many is considered to be the #1 team in the game right now.
Yes, they definitely did put on a good showing, and I think that we were really excited to see what Shanghai was going to do. I mean, people were putting things on the line, saying that flags were going to be eaten if Shanghai were to pull things off, but it's mostly been the 8-0 Fearless and Geggery show. The fact that these guys joined to the lineup and now they've decided to integrate the supports made it a lot better for them. Now that they're saying, okay, we know how we're going to use our communication, how we're going to talk in game and make sure that the comms are clear, because that's really what I think the biggest thing holding this team back right now. They need to figure out how can they simplify communication in order for everybody to be on the same page.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a much better team throughout this stage. We've seen the dives started to work and they got that communication going. And that's really important going into the next meta. We don't know with Brigitte what we'll see Reinhardt, Zarya, but we know for sure that they've started working on this dive with the Winston and the Genji, and we've even at times seen Dia on the Widowmaker with Ascend and Mercy in the backline. So a lot of different compositions we've seen from the Shanghai Dragons, but overall, the word is improvement, and it goes for everything. So that just means that the communication is coming together, and no matter the team, you have to start preparing for the Shanghai Dragons. You can't underestimate them. Otto, specifically on the Genji, has turned up in a big way, and specifically with his Dragon Blades, he has been so crucial with these, and I think overall, you can't look over the Shanghai Dragons.
Well, you can tell right there with that stat card, he's legitimately above the league average. So this is an above average Genji. And if you look at all the Genjis in the league, that is really no small feat. There are some quality players here. The fact that he's able to step up shows you how the Shanghai Dragons have individual talent. It's just putting it to work.
Yeah, and the Shanghai Dragons, with their consistent improvement, that is one thing you kind of got to, put on the side here, because if you're London Spitfire, you just can't take them lightly. London has been looking rather uneven as of late, and I think that's just been an issue that they're trying to overcome, and the Dragons could capitalize.
Absolutely. I mean, the London Spitfire, they have struggled, as you say, but in the last week or so, they've started to get things together. They had a consistent 6 with Hureg on the DPS, but yesterday versus the Seoul Dynasty, they put in Birdring for the first 2 maps. And well, I think that overall, the London Spitfire looked a lot better. Seoul Dynasty won 2 maps, but it was only really when Fleta on the Widowmaker was popping off on Ilios Ruins and also on Volskaya. But overall on the Numbani, I mean, they're 10-0, and then on Junkertown, there was no fluke there. They won it straight up, and then Oasis 2-0 as well. So I think this London Spitfire team, they're showing a lot of strength, and especially versus a team like the Seoul Dynasty yesterday, I think London Spitfire looked really good.
And we got to see Birdring play a little bit, so he's maybe integrating himself back into the lineup, which is only positives for this team. Hopefully by stage 4, they figure out the meta and can make a resurgence.
Yeah, and if there's one team that is more than capable of being able to do this, it is the London Spitfire. Still so much talent on that squad, and I have a lot of faith in them moving forward. But now it's time to move on. Let's go ahead and bring out our first team for this matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together for the Shanghai Dragons. Whoa! Oh boy! Oh, this crowd, it literally lit up
to life right here, the Dragon.
Oh, that's awesome, though. That's awesome.
And Dia wants to clap everyone. He wants to give everyone handshakes, everyone high fives.
I respect that, for sure. Making sure that you acknowledge that the support is there from
There's too many fans.
They really help you out here. It's crazy that the Shanghai team is essentially, like you keep saying, it's the home field advantage all the time.
It's like, it's almost as if we're in Shanghai.
Yeah.
And they're in the final. Like every time they walk out, it's like they're in the finals. It's like they are the #1 team every time. And here's the thing, not to knock on them at all, right? This is a fantastic squad. Gregory obviously has quite the fan base here in the Overwatch League. But again, we kind of got to harp on it, right? Like every time I see them, they're just not the same squad from stage 1. They are so much better.
They are so much better. And we're heading into Temple of Anubis, right? It's a Genji map, and we talked about all those Genji as well. This is a map where the Shanghai Dragons could kickstart things. Numbani, London Spitfire are 10-0 on, but if Shanghai Dragons get this Numbani, or Temple of Anubis map, things could get spicy, Golden Boy.
You just really want to talk about
locos.
I appreciate that. Well, one place they don't really have spice
was the Indian place I went to last night. That was really disappointing.
Okay, well, let's bring out the next.
You order the hottest thing, you at least think it's gonna need milk to go with it.
We gotta go forward here. Bring out our next squad, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stage, the London Spitfire. We gotta talk about that spice that You're black and
Moving on to the fish and chips.
Moving on to the fish and chips. I like that. Put some tartar sauce on it. Here comes the London Spitfire, and again, 19-10 overall, 4-5 in stage 3. And as we mentioned before, right? This team, they're putting the pieces back together, if you will. And notably absent, though, I believe it's Birdring.
It is Birdring. He is missing, and we don't really know what to expect from Hureg in this Temple of Anubis match, because him and Birdring, they pretty much share the same hero pool. I would say that yesterday they both played the Widowmaker versus the Soul Dynasty. Birdring maybe has a better Genji, but Hureg likes that Widowmaker, so maybe we'll see some Prophet on the Junkrat, Hureg on the Widowmaker, and then on point B as well, you'll have a Hureg on the Junkrat and Prophet on the Tracer, of course. So I think that Hureg overall will see more game time this match specifically, due to the maps we have available.
I have to comment on Jester's swag right there. That is just, those are the things we live for here.
Well, you also, a lot of players on the London Spitfire, they've been around for a while. That these are guys that have inspired many other players in this league to become professional players. You've got Bedos and the Zenyatta that, while sometimes doesn't go as noticed as maybe Jonak, he's definitely been up there when it comes to teaching other players how to play. Jonak, I think even he said he was been inspired by this.
Yeah, Bedosen is probably the second best Zenyatta in the league, I would say, after Jonak.
Okay, wow. All right, and you know what?
That's not spicy. No,
that's not spicy. That's not spicy at all.
That's like saying Striker was the best Tracer when we...
We'll have some discussions while the game is going on, but I think it's time to get into the action. Blizzard Arena, let's give me your energy, please. Give me the energy. Let's get hyped up. Let's get loud. It's game time. Let's send it over to you, casters. It's Semler and Hexgrant.
Thank you, Golden Gramps. And, you know, Johnny cut him some slack. You go on in age, things start to get foggy, everything starts looking spicy. He's just looking for things, Hex. So.
I mean, I was going on earlier that dabbing. Yeah, I agree, it's dead. It's not dead, because I was at my niece's birthday party. It's still popular with the 8 to 10-year-old crowd. So, Johnny, you fit right in there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. I was about to say, you know, he even dresses like one. But let's go. It is going to be the match we've all been waiting for. Are they going to finally manage to pull off an upset win here, Shanghai, or will they end the season, well, not the season, but the stage at 0-30?
This is low-key a trap game for London based on having to play the last game last night, first game today. We know what that turnaround is like, you and I, and it can be a little rough. And then you get so up for New York, and now you're thinking maybe you can overlook Shanghai. You cannot overlook the current iteration of the Shanghai Dragons. This is going to sound a little rough, but everyone talks about the improvement in the abstract. They haven't been swept 4-0'd in about a month. So they're taking maps off every team. They took a map off of New York yesterday. The DPS play has been up there. The supports are getting better. Everything overall is better. Now, Anubis has been very difficult for them. They have a hard time capturing second, and we've seen how good London is on Numbani. So don't be stunned if this starts 0-2, but then we go to Nepal, where London's typically struggles on control. Junkertown has been Shanghai's best map lately, and then we have Oasis, and despite what happened last night, London, it's still not their best map. So, low-key, potential upset here, but London's still one of the best teams in the league.
London is definitely not a team to take it lightly, but they are wise. They've been through these sorts of situations in the past, and they've already got the Shetland pony set up here with Hureg getting damage boosted on the high ground, looking for the opening pick. Dia going to go toe-to-toe with him, and I'm glad to see it because Dia is definitely a widow to be feared. There's the dive coming through here for Shanghai Dragons, the initial poke, and they get obliterated immediately.
There's the dive going back home. They used to run a lot of just pure dive on this, and we'll see, but I think Dia's been feeling it a lot more on his Widowmaker lately. On the last time they played this map, he did open up on the Widow. At second point, they still struggle on what the next thing to do. That's a nice pick. It's going to be insta-res, though, but to get him just peeking outside of the shield is a good sign for Dia.
Yeah, that was slick. Hureg didn't even know what hit him, but already quick change position here from Hureg, and he is going to be, well, just poked real quick there. That is Otto, who's definitely been standing up on that Genji.
He's been the best player on Shanghai for a bit now. His Genji has been just amazing. A big chunky mine will connect there. Kaguri out of mech as well. So this is where they might continue to try to go in with just 5, but now you can't.
Teams are just starting to get so good at capitalizing on the halt combos. There's a go. There you go. Prophet will find the kill, but we're getting like the halt and hook. Now we're getting halt and mines. You know, it's just like bring them together and let me do maximum damage.
When Orisa was first released in the PTR, I thought that once people started getting good at what is essentially a baby Graviton in the coordination, that it was going to be one of the more impactful abilities in the game. You saw her mostly on Sanctum use it to the best of their ability, knocking people into holes. She's very good on control for that. But you're right. It's such a great setup for things, just like Graviton is. But if you have the perfect coordination, you're getting a mini Grav on cooldown.
And Bonkers, oh, there we go. The trap works, but Giguri still will find the kill on Prophet. Despite all of that, it will get traded, though. Giguri gets demeched. So we'll see if she can hang in there long enough here to have an impact as Otto is still hunting down Gesture. Gesture does get that demech in the end. And the bongos are here, so London Spitfire now just going to ramp up that damage. There isn't going to be a whole lot that Shanghai can hope to do here in this push.
Tough reload timing there for Otto. He was in the back, he had Orisa low, she was getting pocketed, but then he had to reload right there when it could have been a crucial close range left click shuriken volley right to the head of that giant dome that Orisa has there. Could have been a little bit different had he had a full ammo kit with him. But now Dragon's struggling, only 90 seconds left, and they've made no real attempt at the point thus far.
No real progress, that's for sure. The Hulk's right into the trap. You're not going anywhere, Fearless. Point blank damage getting pumped into him by Fury. That will prompt yet another reset. There could be the stagger. Yes, Ado gets picked off. Hureg, the one to find the kill with the help of Fury.
He's been so one-sided that it's been difficult for them to even bank up ultimates. Altering leads the league in healing done overall, but still only at 61% now going forward. They would love to be able to get a bank of ultimates and get one good push. As it stands, they might try for two. Look for Otto's blade, though, because that's been a blade that can turn things around. 3 kills, 4 kills at times. He can really be a game changer.
Oh, nicely done. Taking the bait there. Hureg going for the tank. That allows for the Mercy to sneak on past.
They almost have Valk. There's been so much healing going on that they're almost going to have Valk, but now you have to wait on it unless they get this resurrection on the Sky.
It's not going to happen, though, unless Altering were to leave the fight completely. That would be a big risk. Everybody's getting pummeled right now. Giguri is already out of the fight. Ado, obliterated by the tire. Prophet finds that kill, and they will get sent back to spawn.
And maybe there's a lot of pressure on Otto to feel that he has to pull his blade there, but I thought that fight was over before it began. It was time for a reset. Now they're not going to have blade going into this next one. Giguri, another window open. She hits very good self-destructs. It's going to be difficult against this composition and this kind of positioning to find that there. I don't know what happened to Altering's Valk there. Did he pop it last fight?
He popped it last fight because they were already pushing through, but then, you know, Sky just got a bolt to the face immediately.
Yeah, that's rough.
They are down on the first point now, and we'll see if they can pull ahead. Ado gets out of line, though, and Badosha will find the kill there, but that gets traded back. 2 quick kills coming in for Shanghai. We may have a chance as they do get the res off on Ado as well. Big advantage now for Shanghai going into the cap of this first point in overtime. They just need to find the kills, focus them down.
This is beautiful. If they can pull this off, there's a great deal for snowball potential incoming because they had to use Valkyrie there. Badosha nowhere near it. They are going to lose even a few more. This could be good. Shanghai could roll this into a second point offense that has so far eluded them on Anubis.
Now with Altering, he's got Valk online now, and they will cap the first point. Shanghai Dragons in overtime managed to make it work in the end, and they will get 4 minutes now. Like I said, the fight to be.
Altering leads the league in all healing done overall by about 600 points, and he leads Arc, of all people, on New York XL on that Mercy main. Now they have ultimate advantage. The only thing that could stop them is Tire.
Yeah, don't group up. Don't give it an easy tire there. Prophet's definitely going to be looking for it, although right now he is very happily chunking nades right into the face of Giguri in the lot. There's the tire coming through, though, and they're immediately going to back off. Hureg kind of getting caught in a bit of a tight spot there.
Looking for the Mercy.
And he, oh, nearly gets her. So close for Altering.
They're going to res this, though, and now Valk is out as well for Altering. They get the full force back in fighting position.
But we will have Doshan throwing the transit, wants to guarantee Fury getting a fresh mech, and he will do so. Hureg still fighting it out on the point. Neither team really wants to commit into this, be the first one to make a mistake as Ado without the trans. There's nothing to stop him from hacking him to bits. Prophet is gone, and Doshan will find the volley on Ado to shut him down, so only 1 kill with that blade. But every kill right now matters so much for Shanghai.
Does not get that perfect reset, though. They're so close to at least getting a tick, which would be better than they've done recently as well. They're getting in there. Fury's out of mech. Fury's down.
Fury's down. Gesture's still alive. And Prophet still hucking nades all over the place here on the point. Finds Dia as well. That's not going to help. And yeah, Prophet just shutting them down at this point. So we will get that reset. 1 tick of progress made here for Shanghai. No, not even.
No, it was so close. So pixel away from getting permanent progress on that point. I believe it stopped just shy of that. We'll revert entirely. 2.5 minutes to try again. This is where they really struggled just on what kind of compositions to run. They've tried nearly everything, but they just never have an answer for the Junkrat. Junkrat's so good. He's always chilling in that back corner, protecting his supports as well. Dia's going to try to run the Widow here. Maybe a surprise factor can come in. Otto's been versatile, though. His Tracer is not bad.
He is definitely, he's got a bit of a deep hero pull that he can make work here. Now it's a matter of him, getting past this first point of defense. Hureg will be able to back off. Will get supported by his healers. Prophet going with the deep tire right now. on a mission, trying to get as high up in the air as possible, looking for the juicy target. And while he finds Fearless, the main tank out of the fight, the Altering will be forced to use his res immediately.
That's a nice peel, though, to make sure that they get that res. Altering's going to bring him back up, and now they've got Fury in their sights. They want him out of mech to let their hit scan do some work.
Even nudging the self-destruct out in the open. Not going to be good enough, though, Fury. Still, he gets that fresh mech on. Gesture up on the high ground, getting focused by Yuri. He's got the Discord on him as well now, but with Primal, should be able to survive a while longer. And in the meantime, Prophet has gone to work. Sky out of the fight.
I would love to see Shanghai hold ults until they're in good form here, because now they're going to have a bit of an advantage going forward. They just got a bunch of ults out of London. A great eco push if they can use it. They can come back in now if they want, if everyone is here, but they're still waiting for Sky in the back line.
Dude, Fearless doing a great job right now. Juggles Doshin with no heals there. Doshin gets overwhelmed, although he will get rezzed up. Nuss coming back from spawn right in the nick of time. And well, Shanghai Dragons really drew that fight out, trying to get as much as possible out of London. And now they've got 2 ultimates to work with going into this next fight. And Altering isn't too far away from the Valk.
That's economic, so that you just have to take advantage of. Fearless and Otto both had ults during that last fight, and Sky died early. He's not getting back. He's a Zenyatta. You got to wait for that. You could have gone in with 4 ults to 0 at this moment right now, and now you don't have that option.
Right, Giggery takes point. Working our way through, and Dia already scoped up, looking for an angle with that infra sight. He is going to be able to spot him out. Nice headshot there onto Fury. Going to ring his bell. And Fury getting focused, trying to capitalize on this. Hanging on by a thread. He will get brought back up, and Hureg finds the kill on Fearless in the meantime. So yet again, they will have to give ground here as their main tank has been laid low, and he's out in the middle of nowhere. Altering not going to be able to get that res.
You can't give ground. You have 10 seconds left. You're going to have to force this no matter what you have to do to do so. And it's just Hureg and Sky. And now they're trying to put some pressure on the point. A resurrection brings them back to partial strength, but got to put a body. It's only Tracer on the point.
This is big, though. Prophet finds Sky. Oh, gets the follow-up on Dia as well. Looking for the dash, but Altering able to get out of harm's way. Still, the damage has been dealt here as Prophet, with those 2 kills, really thrown things out of whack for Shanghai Dragons. They've got 4 bodies alive on the point, but they're going to get whittled down as London Spitfire call in the focus fire. And it's just not going to happen here for Shanghai Dragons as they die one after another. Fearless will get Primal, so he'll be able to draw it out a little longer. Dia has swapped over to Soldier, so he can sprint back into the fight faster. But the overtime wick will burn down, and it will be a single point picked up here for Shanghai.
Shanghai struggles on Anubis continue. They are 0-9 on this map. London's only 5-5, but Shanghai's just never looked good on Anubis. The fact they took first is good. What we might see them do, and this would happen in some of the other matches, is really go all in on just defending first point rather than having to defend second point and not giving up a tick on the second. So last time what you saw, they had a decent fight, and then they needed more bodies there. So Sky, who normally plays their Zen, came back on a Sombra. And then he's unable to get to the point, and then puts him in a bad spot as far as Transcendence timings go and getting back on that Zen on the second point. But they really will sell out entirely to try to full hold on first. I think they feel much more comfortable on that area of the map than they do on second. And they play very differently, but second point Anubis has eluded Shanghai.
I'm kind of curious as far as the setup is concerned, because I was going to think that, you know, Dia, first point defense, play around that Widow, really try and focus on a strength that you have, which is Dia on the Widow, but not looking like that's going to be the setup initially here for Shanghai Dragons.
No, they've run a full dive defense on Anubis before several times. They're more comfortable with defense, running the dive.
But change it up. We've seen the full hold. We've seen the defense, the dive defense, and it's been a bit of a wonky one. So
I just think they're most comfortable in dive overall. It's what they've been doing lately to win maps off of teams, and it's one of the easier things when you know you're only going to run one strategy. You can lessen the communication. You only have to work on a certain set of calls, like I'm going in, and that's about it. So maybe that's why they've been running it a lot more lately. But like I said, Anubis was going to be a tough map for them. Things get a little easier as the pool continues throughout the set.
That is a beautiful boat, a hover boat. What's the sail for, though?
To catch the wind.
Yeah, but it's got like hover engines, Hex.
Yeah, but that's for vertical, not horizontal.
Those things are looking like they're pointed horizontal.
I don't know, man. Why are you asking me? I don't, you're the sailor.
I would definitely get behind that. Well, I admire Fearless. He's already laid a trap out here. This is not something that we see very often at all. Winston looking like he could get in here and just dive right into this back line at will. Will they go for the fight? Addo is looking like he's gearing up for it, and they are going to get in. Giggery, everybody collapsing on this offense, really trying to spring the trap, but Prophet is there to find the kill on Addo to start things off, and this may end up costing Shanghai. They've already lost a player.
That's a nice response from London to just go in the room there, because all the damage is going to come in from one angle, and then they were fighting outside of Discord Orb as well. Sky was way in the back, unable to help his team out with the damage. Discord Orb is an overlooked part of dive, but that's why targets melt so quickly back there.
That's unfortunate for Profit. Doesn't manage to get the grip on the wall, but the kills are here, and London Spitfire now going to be able to just whittle down this defense. Giguri already backing up, and yeah, it's like, seems like they want to kind of throw in the towel, although they would have a chance with Giguri and Otto back in this. They could try and tap it at the last second, get that contest going, and Altering has got the Falcon, so he is going to be trying to lead the way here with Giguri.
They're still posturing to get in here. Giguri's so low, but getting pocket healing right now, and they're able to get at least a presence on the point, and they should be able to get reinforcements. Fearless is going to be able to come in as well, with Primal Rage just about up as well. Giguri finally out of mag, and at the very least, they're forcing London to commit its multis.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Sky decides to get the trance in a little bit late. Nuss has used his Valk as well, really trying to just seal the deal here on this fight. Jester's got Primal and goes online immediately, juggling Sky into the wall. No escape for him, and now Otto with the blade will find Doshin. That's looking for the kills and having the impact. Profit dashes through him, and they are just going back and forth right now. The fight never ending.
Support's down. It's just Fearless and Dia on the point now, trying to get some damage done. Fearless will fall, and that should spell the end of this defense. I believe in Dia as a player, but that's a big ask for him to try to do it by himself there. Now second point, all London needs is 33%, and that will be Temple of Anubis going their way.
That was like a 2-minute fight, Hex.
No, that was
a long fight.
Shanghai's communication has gotten so much better, and it's not just on the dive, it's about on their defenses, when to fall back, when to re-engage. If you look at the top-down maps a lot of the time, and that's what I notice, you see them falling back at the right times, re-engaging, fighting more as a unit than they used to.
Well, Profit right now would love to find a target. Well, there's one. Could get the DMAC as well. He's found the Mercy! Altering, hanging on by a thread, but not for long. Gesture pancakes her, and they just get completely overrun here now, Shanghai Dragons. 2 players left alive here trying to keep the defense going on this point. Fearless is rezzed up again. He is back into this, but they are making progress, and only a single tick is necessary here for London Spitfire to pick up the win on this first map in the series.
Well, those 2 kills are very important, though, because it means that they're not in full fighting force right now. Those 2 kills could change everything. They're going to have reinforcements much quicker, much better. I'd like to see 1 or 2 more kills. They've switched over to the Moira now because they know they're going to be fighting on the point. They have to.
Well, they're going to be able to get in here in time. Moira is going to be there with that AoE healing. And Profit right now, the switch to Reaper, really looking to make life difficult for Fearless, who has gone Primal. Giguri as well, hanging on. And they are going to be going in with the trance, fully committed to this now as Doshin is there to keep his teammates alive. 2 kills, or 1 rather, comes in. Addo waiting for the trance. Out gets bumped off and is not able to get anything out of his blade. Dia does get the stick on Fury, but Fury had the self-destruct. He'll get a fresh mech. And now it's on Sky and Dia trying to keep it together here for Shanghai. Giguri has rezzed up. Is going to be able to get back in here and contest, but the focus fire now is going to be so good for London Spitfire. If they keep running in here 1 at a time, it's not going to be enough for Shanghai.
They are getting a few kills yet again, though. It's not as clean as London would like it, but that Pulse Bomb onto the Winston, and now the Death Blossom to try to close this out. It is just Sky there. Warping around. Fury is low-key a god. Fury the Disruptor, final boss of Genji's.
Yeah, I'm serious, just never lets up. Self-destruct from Giguri. Not going to be able to get the remake though, and now we've got Nuss flying high in the air with the wings out, just chain healing everybody. Altering is getting the focus now as he will get caught out by Doshin. And it will be them backing up. 5 players alive here, stopped at a second, and it's not going to be enough. Shanghai Dragons eventually cave, and it will be London Spitfire winning the first map in this series.
It's somewhat anticipated there, but that's actually better on just the stall out than I've seen Shanghai before. It's the little things that are building together. We all know how good London is. The story for this one is Shanghai. We'll see what they can have on the next map because they have to go to Numbani. Thus far, London Spitfire undefeated on Numbani, but yesterday, Shanghai beat NYXL. We'll take a look at that map after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever.
this is the big cleanup coming in now for London Spitfire.
So far, so good for Shanghai. With Ocean again. Oh dear! So sick! Welcome to the party.
All right, welcome back from the break, everybody. It's been Shanghai Dragons taking the fight, some of the longest fights we've got to see, right? Just 2-minute battles that never seem to end, but they weren't quite able to get the job done on the first map, so it's going to be Numbani next.
Yeah, I talked a little about their communication, and even stall out is all about communication. Who's going in? Do we wait here? They got a couple kills there to draw it out. It was very long. I expected their defense to not look that good, so some signs of improvement on Anubis. Still no victories for them yet. Numbani was much the same case for them until yesterday against the NYXL. They were able to take this map, and what I liked about Shanghai taking this map, there was a point where they're getting spawn camped. Spawn camp bad for like a couple minutes right after their spawn after you take the first point, and to have the mental resilience to break through that and then win the map against NYXL was a good sign for them. But I mean, they still did get spawn camp, so temper that with what you will. London Spitfire 10-0 on this map. I believe that 10 is because of a playoff map on this one. But look, London's got this map figured out for sure. On defense, they're going to run a Widow on the low ground for the most part. They're anti-dive. They force your Mercy into weird positions and then try to pick it off with the Widow. It is Hureg who hit those shots the last time I saw this one. Shanghai has tried a lot of different stuff on this one. Oddly enough, they don't run pure dive or haven't the last couple of times. They've tried to run a Pharah into this yesterday. NYXL was actually running a defensive Pharah, and so that was an interesting mode there. You run a defensive Pharah so that the dive is just less effective. You're not going to get to the Mercy. She's a mile in the sky, and you're just raining rockets. So we'll see what Shanghai wants to come out here on their offense. Pure dive would be good. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Pharah, but if they've done any scouting, you don't really want to run a Pharah into a Widow.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have that long range sniper there to pick her off from the sky. No hiding from it. And it will look like, at least initially, we will be having the Lucio until it gets swapped out. Just a little bit of speed boost there from altering on Shanghai. And London Spitfire again. We'll be opening up with that Widow.
Yeah, so pure dive. Yesterday what happened to London is on their defense, they let a Tracer get behind them. Munchkin got behind them, and it's unwarranted because Jester's up top on one angle, Prophet's on the stairs on the back line that you do not want to get flanked again. The dive will come in.
And they are not going to be able to get on top of Hureg. It looks like he is going to be able to back off. And in the meantime, the counter dive is brutal from London Spitfire. The push is over for Shanghai. They're going to get sent packing, but as soon as that dive comes in, Gesture, Fury, boom, right into the back line, just wiping out your supports.
They counter dive because the Widow's up there as a dive target, but they fall so far back with it generally, and there's always good escapability. They make sure that the cooldowns for mobility are available to them, and the moment they see anyone go in, Gesture and Prophet, back on the supports, and it's you either have to trade better with us, and the problem is you're generally not going to trade better with them. And even if you're getting even trades, reinforcements from defense, close, right? And offensive spawns are far away.
And every single time, it's like, all right, Hureg is just waiting for him. He doesn't care. Eventually, Giguri will stagger it. It does put some pressure on him, but he will get pocketed. No worries for Hureg, as Nuss will be there to keep him alive. But that grappling hook, he's just waiting for Fearless to throw himself in and then just cleanly dodges it. Prophet, yes, will eventually find the kill on Sky.
And they're going to go for a little bit of chase here as well. Otto is in trouble. Otto is down, and that's the chase that London likes to put on their defense. I would honestly be surprised if they end up cracking this one. The defense is so good and so set up. Hureg is going to go back into position. He hangs out with both supports. Fury's going to be there right in front, and then Gesture and Prophet work together. Is there any other better dive pair in the league? There's some that are close, but Gesture and Prophet, for my money, the best Winston Tracer duo as far as diving and counter diving that there is.
I'd follow you on that, 100%. Let's see. We will have Hureg once again taking a bit of a peek. Fearless goes charging up onto the high ground this time with that push. And Prophet right now, he is hunting for Sky, of course. There we go. Gets the stick on Giguri. That will get the D-Mech. So we will be slowing things down here for Shanghai Dragons. Fearless under pressure. Addo as well, just hoping to get some support. As the res is going through, Altering will be bringing him back, bringing Dia back into the fight at least, but that's slowing down the heals.
Well, they've also committed the Valkyrie in this too. I'd be surprised if Blade doesn't come out. Are they into this fight? They are into it. Gesture down as well. And now this Blade should come out. Here it is.
Yeah, Addo looking for it. Nuss able to dash out immediately. Addo needs to find a target, but Ocean has the trades to keep him alive. Dia killed for a second time, and Altering not going to be able to get that res off in the thick of things here. Has to keep his teammates topped up, and well, Hureg with the headshot on him. Backline is dead now for Shanghai Dragons, and there's only a minute on the clock.
Zoning Blade not quite as effective as they would have hoped there. Did not work out for them. Counter dive there yet again. 1 minute left. They did get one tick of progress at the very least, so now it makes it a little bit easier. Coming into this, they will have Infra Sight. It's a big advantage Dia will have over Hureg, who's nowhere close to it, and only a Pulse Bomb up for the other side. They've yet to see a very impactful self-destruct from Gaguri. She's prioritizing staying in the mech so that they have the Matrix so that she can peel.
They need to find some kills here. 16 kills so far for London Spitfire. Shanghai Dragons, 2. So that's a pretty big gap, and if you're going to crack this defense, you need to start having a bit more of an impact. Prophet is waiting in the wings. Spots out where Gaguri is going. The D-Matrix has been used, but that's going to recharge shortly, and Prophet could find the stick. As soon as he sees that back line, he's going to be looking for it.
It's a nice shot. I really like the angle that they took here, too. They're going to force out the early resurrection. That should be an advantage they have as long as Altering can stay alive. Altering almost has Valk again. This guy does so much healing.
Oh, he's putting it on here. No! It gets intercepted. That was a sick pulse bomb. That probably would have stuck, but instead it's going to just get caught in the way. And well, recall right back up onto the Zen. Keep the pressure on. Gaguri, though, has been finding the kills that could make the difference here for Shanghai.
Double kills, Valkyrie, they're going to D-Mac. They should have this point. Otto's just looking for more. He's chasing them out. They finally get the kills they need. Compliments of Gaguri, who needs a self-destruct when you're just running people over and you got mini missiles too. I also love that they just took a different angle. I think the surprise there really threw them off. Dia hits that opening headshot, which had to happen. Use the Infra Sight to do so. And they're going to continue to push. Now, this is the composition that they like to run on second anyway. They like to run a Widow. They continue to do it. They're going to force the other team to try to dive them if they want. And we'll see if Hureg ends up switching or if he's going to stay. He's popping the ult now, so this might be a prelude to a switch.
Just getting it out of the way. Infra, I mean, he is looking for those kills. He is definitely taking peeks here and pokes, but Nuss is going to get the wings out now. And they still have Doshin with the trance. Sky has thrown his trance into this fight already, however, so we'll see how this fares. Will they have the throughput here, Shanghai Dragons? All about staying live at this point as Addo not going to get that blade out until that trance is used by Doshin. He's been very formulaic in that sense.
They're able to keep Sky alive, at least for the moment, and deflect this a little bit. Otto's coming in to help out, takes down Nuss.
That's a big deal. Into Chaos, gets out as well. That's unbelievable, gets topped up immediately. And now, well, Fury kind of hanging around on the pack. D-Matrix going to deny some of this damage, but he's going to get sandwiched by Fearless, who is still looking to capitalize. And while Hureg is still on high, taking pot shots.
Yeah, Fearless needs to get back to his team. They're trying to set up a blade here. Another Valkyrie comes out from Altering. Just pumps out the heals, but still the backline getting abused.
This is the most ridiculously long run for Nuss right now. Hureg is in a spot where he can Guardian Angel over, so he will be able to get back into this fight quicker. Definitely needs to as well. The healing needs to get there for Nuss as Gesture is hanging on by a thread. He's got the Primal though, so he can just reset at will, and there's the dive yet again with Gesture and Prophet launching themselves in there.
Hureg just hit a couple of huge shots as well. He's going to push them all the way back. Otto holding on to the blade wisely in this situation as they need one full reset here. Sky will have Transcendence. Otto will have Blade. You can follow a Blade around everywhere if the communication is there. I'm going to this target, I'm going to that target. Keep them in the Transcend or hope they group up. But London has to be sensing it's time for a Blade. Is pretty spread out right now.
They're all over the place. And look at this, Prophet. He has been spotted. Not going to catch Gaguri sleeping. Well, they are aware of it, and Dia with the spicy headshot puts Prophet out of the fight immediately. No way to get that res off as well. So Nuss backing off. Hureg is in risk, and he will get caught. That's going to set it up until Fury is there with a self-destruct kill on Addo to stop that blade short.
And they're going to resurrect Hureg too, so that blade ends up netting actually nothing. Their Transcendence had been popped as well. Running low on ultimates is the time for the self-destruct just to try to get a new mech back. Will succeed in doing so.
Yeah, and well, overtime now. That Wick, you got to keep the presence on it. Gaguri staying into it, just barely taps the point in time, keeping it alive here for Shanghai Dragons. Hanging on by a thread. They need to find a kill that is going to make a big difference, and it's just not going to happen as Gaguri gets D-Mech'd in that instant. It's enough for the Wick to burn down.
And we'll see where the self-destruct ended Otto's blade here. Fury has been so good for London the last several games. I thought he was one of their best players last night. Knocks it in the corner. No escape there. Can't deflect that damage. And you see the sad Cyber Corpse going down, and they even resurrect the one kill that he got.
That's so frustrating. It's just like, yes, at least I had an impact. My life meant something. Oh, no. All right, well. Life is brutal sometimes, Hex.
I mean, only 8 permanent kills there that entire time. London died 12 times. They were able to resurrect 4 of them. On the other side of things, Altering only able to res up 2, but Altering did do a ton of healing. I mentioned it coming into this set. He puts out a lot of healing. We can debate why that happens. Is it because they take too much damage? But I looked at the list of who's putting out the most healing, and there's top-tier Mercies on that list. One of the theories is that for a while, when Undead was gone, that they had to switch to like triple tank. So they had to use a Moira, and Moira with triple tank is just spraying it everywhere.
Yeah.
So that got his average up a little bit, but still pumping it out on the Mercy. He's had Valkyrie nearly every fight.
He has been very good, apart from what, like the beginning of the series where it's definitely, you know, kind of getting warmed up. Altering has definitely been Johnny on the spot with the heals and with the reses.
Yeah. It may have been when Dia was gone as well, because Dia took a little bit of a hiatus. Regardless, they had to run triple tank, and that's where they ran a lot of Moira. So that's happening. And Altering's problem has generally just been dying a little too often, and that's one of the things that the supports are really working on, trying to get together. This is also cool. This is one of the defenses that they've run too, a defensive Pharah with a Ana. Sky's best hero is Ana. He's been playing a lot of Zen because Ana's not in the meta, but as his previous handle, Zhu Fanjun, he was probably the best Ana in the Chinese region in the Overwatch Premier Series. Now goes by Sky. It's his best hero. Finally, he's on a map that he can run it. We'll see how this one works. London still, it is their best map. They are undefeated on this one for a reason.
Once they figure out this setup here, they're actually just taking a totally different angle here, London, working their way all the way around. As you can see, Fury, Gesture, waiting for Prophet perhaps to get into position. And they are going to move together. Prophet instantly darting up to the high ground. Going to go ahead and poke and prod here. And well, you get it from Fury's perspective. Instantly dive here. Fearless cut off. And great reaction there. Great call from Fury to take advantage of the fact that Fearless dropped off that high ground.
I mean, these are kind of just blind picks because the offensive Widow is not something that a ton of teams run, but they must know that the Shanghai wants to run a defensive Pharah. I think you're not going to see it anymore after what just happened with this defensive Pharah here. You saw Dia just on the ground kind of waiting for Sweet Mercy to pick him off. They will grab first point with ease. I think Sky's going to stay on this. Dia insta-switches to Widow.
And getting it up. There we go. So we will have the duel. Hureg, of course, in the lead. Will have the Infrasight earlier, so there will be the advantage for London Spitfire. Now it's a matter of seeing how far they can push this payload forward. They don't have a whole lot of ground to cover before they get to the victory rectangle.
Otto on a wild adventure in back, hoping they forget about him. Hureg just keeps checking, though. He's looking behind him. They know that the Tracer is behind. Otto's going to take the long way around and try to rejoin his team.
A little bit of a body shot there, just tickling the paint job. And well, there we go. Gesture will be coming back over here with his team. Nuss has got the Valk online, and so they can use that to open things up as Hureg will get the Infrasight. That can definitely prompt it, as Fearless just going to throw himself bodily in here. Prophet, however, has found his kill, and now it's Prophet and Gesture going to town on the back line. Altering hanging on by a thread right now, and Sky, some great healing there to keep his Mercy alive.
The Nano Winston still goes down. Focus fire there to completely crush it. Altering will fall as well. They've only gotten one kill during this, and that's going to be resurrected yet again. Nuss resurrects Gesture, who fell earlier in the fight, and this has looked easy peasy for London.
Yeah, they've got it all coming together so clean now. Well, Shanghai, unless you have some heroic headshots coming in from Dia that is just going to lay people low immediately, you're going to be cutting it pretty close here. Fearless throws himself in already. They're the contestant in the last possible second. Fearless will have Primal as well. Fury going to bump him off the point, but Otto is still here. They just taking the fight to him.
They just went right past him. That's a nice Primal you got there. Where's the rest of your team? Oh, we're going to go back into the back line and try to deal with it. They just know they're not going to contest the card. They just want to go win a fight.
Win the fight, and then you're going to be able to pick him off at will afterwards. Altering, he's got the Valk, and he is trying to chain heal everybody. It's not quite working out for him here, as the rest of his team, they will fall, although there is some pressure being put on Doshin. We do still have Hureg, and we still have Nuss in this fight, though, and so he will get stabilized as Fearless and Sky fall. London Spitfire now, one kill after another. Gaguri hanging in there, but will get demeched. Will get eliminated by Prophet immediately. Progress now for the payload, and there will be no stopping it now. London Spitfire, 2 maps now in this series going into halftime.
The numbers of eliminations are just ridiculous. It's Gesture, Prophet, and Fury at 22, 21, 22. No one on Shanghai broke double digits of eliminations that match. Look, I kind of expected this 0-2, but do not lose faith, Shanghai fans. Those were maps that they were going to struggle on. We go into maps that they're better on after the halftime. We'll see what the desk has to say about that.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone.
Welcome back, everyone, to the half. Here's London Spitfire up over the Shanghai Dragons 2-0. And, you know, to kind of quote what Hex was saying, they're not out of it yet. If you are a Shanghai Dragons fan, the two maps coming up next are maps that certainly do favor the Dragons a little bit more so. But the London Spitfire, man, they're playing so well. And to be fair, when you look at the pushes that they've had and the aggression that they've displayed, Shanghai,
they are the most aggressive team in the league.
I think Shanghai is looking more aggressive than London. They're just relentlessly jumping into London nonstop.
Yeah, several teams and coaches, they just say that it's scary to play against the Shanghai Dragons because they're so aggressive and up in your face, so it's a bit hard to handle.
Yeah, but I also think, though, if you look at it, there have been moments, especially in that Numbani game, where you had, like, Fearless just, like, fly straight over, right? And then he just gets absolutely shredded.
That's been a big trend. So looking at this game, I try to take a big emphasis on the timing at which kills happen, because sure, it's one thing taking a kill, but when it happens, I think is really indicative of what is going on in these team fights. And so Hureg and Fury have, I think, about 80% of all the fights that have happened so far, the opening pick. So it's either when Shanghai is jumping in or before the fight even happens. And so Shanghai's fighting a lot of the times at a disadvantage and is having to go with these 2-minute long fights trying to make something happen.
All right, well, let's jump into the highlights real fast for this one, fellas. And, you know, when I say real fast, I mean, I don't want to be disparaging, but these were 2 quick games. London Spitfire made quick work of the Dragons.
Shanghai knew what they were doing, though, because they went all in on a strategy in trying to take out the Mercy. It didn't work, and they got snowballed really hard.
One thing I've noticed here, they just don't play Orisa. Orisa's very popular on Anubis. Why is that?
Because Fearless can't be tamed. He is the most aggressive Winston, besides Roshan, in the league. And it stems from his background in Element Mystic and Korean Contenders, who are one of the most aggressive teams. So they like to play this Genji Winston dive most of the time, and even here on Numbani, obviously, the first point is prime dive style. So Fearless can't really play these slower comps, really. He can't really adapt to that type of style. And so we see Ado on the Genji, Fearless on the Winston, and that's your go-to, really. But the London Spitfire, they are so good at punishing mistakes. And so you run this dive style into the London Spitfire, and it's like, okay, Fearless, he went a bit too far. Although you're a bit too slow. Geguri, you used all your Matrix. And the London Spitfire, they just take advantage of that, and Hureg just snipes away.
And I know you say punishing mistakes, and there's actually like a really good statistic here to highlight that, because on the first point attack from the Shanghai Dragons on Numbani, they tried to attack it 4 times, and out of those 3 fights, London almost fully wiped them in all of them. They're really not knowing when to back off. They go in and London punishes. So it's a mixture of both. And yeah, this is what happens with Prophet. This is him getting the opening frag onto Dia. You gotta look around.
Nobody a Widowmaker. You know, you're so thin. You know,
it's not actually.
It's just one of those
saying you're screwed. You're done.
You're done. You're done. Okay. Well, another player though we really do need to talk about. I mean, the guy consistently performs at the highest level is Prophet. Prophet has just been amazing.
Yeah, and like I said, London Spitfire, they toned down the game a bit, and Prophet, I think he was the main man for the London Spitfire to capitalize on the Shanghai Dragons' mistakes. He's playing the Genji, so he's a bit more mobile, 16-3 on Temple of Anubis, so he can avoid these dives coming in from the Shanghai Dragons, and then, when the Shanghai Dragons have committed, he punishes the positional mistakes from the Shanghai Dragons, dashes in, gets the kills, gets a dash reset, gets another dash kill, gets a dash reset, and gets another kill. And then you're dead.
Wow, just gets a dash. Another one.
Another one.
Okay, DJ.
Another one.
So now, anything you've noticed in this game so far, Crumbs? Because I know you kind of had a keen eye on some of the battles that have been going on between, you know, like the off tanks, for example.
Yeah, well, when we're looking at Divas, I feel like the Divas are having a very big impact here. I think Fury specifically, while he's helping a lot in countering the dives that are going on from the Shanghai Dragons. So he's getting a lot of kills onto Fearless and anybody on the opening pick. So he's throwing out the bomb, and look at that. He's going to protect his backline here because now the Genji doesn't have a choice.
They know he has Blade on purpose.
Pardon?
On purpose. They know that Ado has a Blade.
Yeah, they're doing a very good job of making sure that the Divas are protecting the dive from Shanghai Dragons, but Shanghai Dragons, I think right now they still don't really know what they are supposed to be doing when it comes to protecting your backline or diving. I think they're still in the mix of sometimes they do both, which doesn't really work, or sometimes they commit really hard to one and forget the other guys to the back.
So now we go for games 3 and 4 to Nepal in Junkertown. And Hexagrams was, you know, He's the ever most positive individual I've ever met in my entire life.
He was way more positive than I expected him on that
actually, all jokes aside, Xgrams is the least positive individual.
He's better than most.
This is very uncharacteristic of him to say this, that the Shanghai Dragons, he's going to be so mad at me. The Shanghai Dragons have a chance going into games 3 and 4. Do you guys believe that as well?
Define chance and for what?
Okay.
Well, whoa, okay.
Okay, turn down
yes,
for what? That was actually the first one.
They do have a better chance, I'd like to say. Because going into Nepal Village, we've seen a lot of triple tank. And maybe you toss out some weird composition with a Mei, perhaps, and you can get the Nepal win. Then you go into Junkertown, and we know that Junkertown is a bit more up in the air. Get Dia going on the Widowmaker, then you're done.
I think they take a map for sure. Yeah, I think Shanghai takes a map here. They're definitely good enough to do that, but to take a reverse sweep, that's a tall order.
It's happening! Do it!
You're just gonna start yelling, and just yelling in Swedish at some point. I just start doing things.
No.
What would I
was singing a Swedish song all the time.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just trying to stay positive.
I know, and you know what?
PMA.
We need some PMA in our life. I totally agree.
What does that mean?
Positive mental attitude, man.
Yeah.
Come on, fam.
Get with the times.
Get with the times.
I'm not looking at inspirational YouTube videos lately.
Inspirational Twitch chat. Let's go.
That's right. Inspirational Twitch chat. Always a pleasure. Okay, so that's going to do it for halftime. And as we move on here, we do want to kind of harp on settings, right? The settings of the players are very, very important. Yes. And it affects the players' in-game performance, obviously. And even the smallest thing can make a difference. We actually had an opportunity to speak with MG from the Shanghai Dragons to see what settings he prefers in this week's game set, sponsored by Omen by HP.
And MG pushing him into the corner. New York can't even get onto the point to contest.
And as MG, they're really starting to do the cleanup quite nicely.
我的名字是 MG， 然后我现在在上海 Dragons。平时经常使用的英雄是迪瓦还有路霸，他们都属于副坦类型的。我最经常使用的是迪瓦，因为这版本迪瓦的在副坦的位置很重要，然后比其他英雄都要好。路霸的可以自我治疗，然后还可以有很强的单体秒的能力。 这游戏里面设置，就不管是这个游戏还是其他传统体育项目，你就算是羽毛球或者乒乓球，都需要有一副趁手的拍子。当然，这就相当于我们打球用的拍子一样，我们要调整自己用为最为舒适的。先把游戏内的分辨率调成144的赫兹，我在声音上调的就是自己听起来最舒服的大小音量大小，我不会调的特别大声，也不会调的特别小声。 然后低瓦的我会把它灵敏度调成7，我觉得鼠标灵敏度只要你是自己打得准，只要自己方便就行了。然后鼠标准心我会把它调成圆形，然后路霸的话也是调成7，准心会调成圆形，不过路霸会放大一点，因为它的枪是散弹型的枪。然后我比较喜欢黄色，然后我就会调成黄色。 再把近战攻击从 V 键调成 F 键。这以上就是我游戏内的全部设置，然后我们大家有机会再见。
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The London Spitfire currently hold a 2-0 lead over the Shanghai Dragons in our first matchup of the day. And it should be noted that the Shanghai Dragons have never taken a map off the London Spitfire. So a lot of the same from their previous matchups. It's kind of strange. I actually am a big Prophet fan, and seeing him do his thing this game, I feel like the London Spitfire are finally starting to get their feet back under them. What's going on behind me? See, they didn't expect me to turn around. Got him. Anyways, guys, we got a whole nother half left to go. Will Shanghai finally take a map off the London Spitfire? What do you guys think? The crowd believes so, so let's go ahead and get back into the action with our casters, Simler and Hex.
Thank you, Malik. I'm with the guy who's sitting to your right. He was just like, nope.
Nope. Yeah, look, I may not be the most positive person in the world, but I'm not negative. And actually, pre-game, I go up to the desk where it's like 15 minutes out. I'm like, gonna be by the shoulder, ready to be like, good game, we're gonna have like a good set today. And Golden Boy turns to me and goes, we're rehearsing right now? I'm trying to be positive, man. Just let me love you. Let me love you.
Golden Boy, come on, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
it's
all
like
fun.
a monster to you? No, he's big. Treat him like one.
I'm a human being. 5K.
I am not a monster.
5K is going to be subbing in for Sky as we head over to Control. We are going to Nepal, and I said this was probably going to start 0-2. But do not lose faith so far, because London notoriously not good on Control maps. They are 4-5 on Nepal. Shanghai's been playing Nepal a little closer to a lot of teams, and their best map lately has been Junkertown, so it's very possible that if we force that game 5, we got Oasis. How's that for positivity? I'm doing my best.
It's great, except I need you to speak up, Hex. I can't hear you through the pillowcase. But
Deep reference.
Deep. Going in
Well,
there.
speaking of Elephant Man, there is an elephant on this map. We're not going to start on that stage, though, on the Shrine. We are going to start on the Sanctum here. And Shanghai runs a kind of an interesting thing here. And well, part of it is because they lack flexibility. So a lot of teams would run in Orisa, but then they would have someone else run the D.Va with them. But no one on this team plays Orisa except for Gaguri. So they don't really have that option. They've run, actually, Roadhog and D.Va on this map before with no main tank. Not going to be the lineup we see now. It does seem like they want to run a dive composition with some ground healers too, a Moira Lucio in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. We will have the Moira kind of keeping on top of it. Both teams moving together as a unit right now, and Jester will finally set up that hard point defense on the opposite side of the point, because why not? Just trade places.
Rotating all the way around, trying to find someone here. Look at the speed boost they're coming in. They're looking to find a lone target. Otto's going to put some pressure on over the side. It is Jester alone on the point. Does not seem to be the target. And meanwhile, Urag and Prophet clean it up.
That was a spicy Halt combination again. I like it, man. More Halts, even though it is ridiculous. More Halts.
Yeah, I
think about it.
suppose.
It's a grab on cooldown.
Yeah, it feels pretty bad to get caught in it, and I think we're just starting to see the potential of Halt through the Overwatch League. It has not been used to the great extent before this, but you're seeing what the top players in the world can do with that when you have this perfect coordination of, they're going to be here, what are you going to do when they're here? Oh, hit him with a mine, I'll hit him with a, I got something. And you'll even see it with the Widow, too. Pull him out behind his shield, pull him out for a self-destruct. Halt is an amazing ability used correctly.
Yep. It's an art. It's an art for him. Well, Jester, right now, he is the focus of all the attention. He has to be at the center of it all, but he will have his barrier. He will have his fortify. He will survive, and in the meantime, his team are shredding the Dragons, pulling out bangs one after another.
Yeah, but they do get everyone on the point. It was just a small contingent. They pick up 3 kills and will flip it back over. However short-lived this may be, there are still a couple hiding down in the back way, though, so they could turn some deaths into some percentage points. But Ocean queues up 5 King's death.
Oh, the patience from that one, too. He's like, I'm going to get this guy. He's not going to hide from me for long.
I really love the sound design of the volley, too. You hear it charging, and it just gets ever more ominous. Then all of a sudden, plink, 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 and everyone is dead in front of you. 57% and counting up for London on this first stage of Nepal. Do or die for Shanghai. If London wins this map, they win the series. Of course, we will play it all out as we always do. We need to start showing something a little bit more. So far, 12 kills. Make that 13-3.
Oh, that was brutal. Again, the Halt. And, well, Doshin finds Atto, and it is going to be Prophet right now. Mines to the face, going to force him out. Altering, turning tail, trying to run. Hunted down! No escape. And, well, it is going to be London Spitfire now, past the 80% mark. It's going to be one good fight left here for Shanghai Dragons, just waiting on Altering to res up. They will have some ults to work with. They will have the Lighthouse to shine the way.
they've banked up several ults, and I'm looking for Fearless here to get on the point and knock them off. When you have an Orisa that's a static point that you can leap on, and you see everyone actually crowding around that Orisa, that is a death that cannot happen. Prophet takes out Altering is so much healing. Prophet ends this map, essentially.
Oh, brutal. No way in. That was visceral. That was just not a chance.
The Primal Rage came in but got knocked into the heavens by Whole Hog. He just now gets back into a supercharged team. London make that first point look easy.
They have definitely got that level right now where we were thinking perhaps they'd look a little shaky on the control point. Well, we're going to go ahead and actually take a look at what Hureg is capable of here on this map, because it was a bit of the Prophet show there at the end. We might have forgotten that there was another top-tier, world-class DPS. And, well, I definitely did not know that that was coming, guys. So.
I heard it. It's what he's incapable of, and he's incapable of hitting a grapple hook there. I'm sure he's thrilled with our replay department that that is what they chose to throw up on the screen. I find it humorous.
Too. Hey, I'm bigging this guy up. He's amazing. He's a monster.
It'd be different if they weren't one stage away from winning the series. And you don't put something like that up. You always punch up in comedy. You don't punch down. Right now, though, we're going to have to see something here on Nepal from Shanghai. Now, this is a map that they've actually run dive into a triple tank before, and it's been successful for them previously. Not going to be the case now. They're going to run Tracer and Pharah. Usually it's actually Dia on the Pharah, but they're going to switch it up here. It's auto this time around. Now, this, you want to rein in as much damage as possible, then try to get a barrage in one of these angles, but this is a good counter composition to it.
Well, you're just going to have to work your way through the shields eventually. Eventually, you will do damage. He's at 26% right now, and it's taking quite a while. You can see when you throw those rockets into the shield, you're not getting any charge off of it. You need to connect with bodies. And now that's a good one there. Nice follow-up rockets. Prophet out in the open right now in harm's way. Addo just farming on him. Will not get the kill, however, and Fury in the meantime has found Altering, and that's pretty much going to snuff it here for Shanghai.
That's a big health pool to try to chunk down with rockets. Even use the concussion to get him back into the mix. 5 King will fall out in no man's land, trying to skate back to safety. Not going to happen for him there. Addo's just poking away. Fury's in a little bit of an interesting spot, but that's Fury. He's been so good for this team last couple of games. I mean, he's really... It's been more obvious how good he is. He's always been good, but D.Va, you know, when you do your job perfectly, it's like you've done nothing at all. We've done a great job of catching his impact for the London Spitfire.
Hureg, you can see, he's got the idea. He's on that high ground, wants to hit that mine with those guys that are flying high. Instead, he will get caught sandwiched between Fearless and Dia. So a good kill here to start things off. The 5th kill of this map so far for Shanghai Dragons. They need more if they're going to have a chance at flipping this point. 50% and counting for London, and that's pretty much going to keep happening here because Shanghai, well, they just got ruined by Doshin.
Doshin picks up the final blow there on 3, 60% and going up. No changes incoming for Shanghai. They want to keep running this. All right, so double projectile into this works. There's a couple teams who run this strategy. I believe Valiant has run this strategy before. We run a Junkrat and a Pharah. There's no real threat to the Pharah in the sky, but you need the Junkrat there to add in even more damage into the point, onto the ground. But now they're not even playing point, so it could be a little bit trickier.
Pretty spicy. With the bubble down, though, this could open it up here for Gesture, but will not be able to get it off before the Primal. There it is. Decides to focus in on Giguri. Knocked out of position, though, was looking for the follow-up charge. That's not going to happen.
5 King saving lives right there. Knocks him out of the way, keeps Giguri alive. They also were able to take down Junkrat in that mix, though, and now the kills start coming in for London. 95, 96, going to have to beat a miracle of Lucio. He meets his untimely demise, and it is only a Pharah on the points. London, you know, takes away all my positivity as they will wrap up this series 3-0, making short work of Shanghai on Nepal.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it's done there, London. Very confident hitting their shots, not really letting Shanghai find any kind of footing to stand on in that map. It ends with 36 kills to 6 kills, and that's a pretty dominant play there from London Spitfire on both points. I do get to watch Dia get plummeted.
That's a dirty halt. I mean, how Orisa's halt works on Sanctum is a little ridiculous, but Shanghai has not been swept in nearly a month, and Junkertown is a big reason for that. That is our next map coming up after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever. Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
The damage available. And Moira has so much ability to be able to just get away from players like Linkser on the Tracer.
Now getting very close, building up the ult, and there it is. Oh, okay, the coalescence coming out here. Jaehong's just giving the Houston Outlaws a good hosing down. Oh, they're clean indeed. But that push from Seoul was nothing but dirty.
We are here finally ready to get things started in our inaugural season of the Overwatch League.
원래 프로게이머를 하고 있었던 거예요.
프로 생각하고 했어요. 게임을 하다가 너무 질려가지고 이제 좀 질린 단계가 와서 이제 좀 새 게임을 해보자 해가지고 이제.
Oh, that is dirty right there.
근데 오버워치 FPSL에서 처음에는 좀 이건 좀 아닌 것 같은데 그래서 메인 탱커가 마침 딱 에임이 필요가 없더라고. 라인하르트 그때 당시.
Man, Fisher just wrecks him again.
그때 라인 잘 맞아가지고 프로 준비를 했지.
저는 이제 대학교 다니면서 하다가 이제
부럽다.
대학교가 너무 저한테 적응이 안 되는 거예요. 막 술 문화 이런 게 이제 좀 싫어해가지고 짜증난다 그래서 그냥 집에 있는 시간이 많아지다 보니까 이제 스타투를 하는데 친구들이랑 스타투가 개 재미가 없는 거예요. 근데 오버워치가 나온다 해서 어느 순간 또 유명해져서.
재능이 있었네. 재능이 있네 확실히. 이건 재능이다.
Effect is a hit scan god.
It's a bonanza for effect. Who's next?
글래디가 이제 피셔님이 들어가서 또 확 바뀌고 있잖아요. 완전 전체적으로. 솔직하게 말해서 글래디가 잘하는 선수가 너무 많아서 애쉬 선수도 미쳐가고 있고 슈퍼포드 위도 장난 아니고.
처음에 위도를 조금 못했어요. 그래서 제가 팩폭을 한번 했어요. 위도 못한다고. 위도 지금 좀 못하고 있다고. 근데 그때부터 슈퍼가 굉장히 잘했어요. 슈퍼가 진짜 연습 엄청 많이 하고 프로 게이머의 마인드로 엄청나게 연습을 해가지고 지금은 제가 봤을 때 농담으로 저희 팀원을 커버 치려고 얘기하는 게 아니라 저희 지금 모든 리그에서 위도 제일 잘한다고 생각합니다.
제가 위도를 들어보면 또.
오. 그건 쇼프한테 전해드리겠습니다.
뭐 글래디한테는 저번에 한번 졌으니까 각오하고 이번에는 쉽게 안 당할 거고.
같이 있었어요.
아, 그래.
스테이지 어떻게 같은 팀이었었거든요. 진짜. 진짜. 그거 너무 잘하시네.
Fisher wanted to have that position in the starting lineup, and that's something he's going to get with the Gladiators.
아니 이게 내가 런던을 싫어해가지고 그런 얘기를 하는 게 아니라 왜냐면은 많은 사람들이 그런 이런 퍼포먼스. 그러니까 이펙트님도 똑같은 경험이 있었잖아요.
네, 그 느낌 알죠, 그 느낌.
메타에서 메타를 이겼기 때문에 이렇게 포커스가 나한테 다 오는 느낌. 그때가 기분이 제일 좋았지. 그거 사람들이 드라마를 원하거든.
Not only the fans, Fisher, not only the fans, we are too. It feels good, and you know that the players, it really does mean a lot. There's a lot riding on that match. The first match you're gonna play against your old team. There's nothing you want more in the world than to prove yourself right.
Yeah, I mean, London has beaten the Gladiators the second time they played, as prophesized there. I just think like that was one of my favorite round tables because that was like the most effect I've ever seen. You know, he's got this mentality about him, and hopefully we'll see him step back into form when we head to stage 4. But as it stands right now, 3-0 London over Shanghai. We're going to Junkertown, and Shanghai will try to avoid the sweep going into this. It's been a good map. They were able to full hold Philly on this map and force a decisive map number 5 last week. Free Field will come back in for 5 King. And offensively for Shanghai, they have tried out the pirate ship before. The question remains, though, is on defense. Can they run in Orisa and Diva? The problem is that the only person who plays either of those heroes on the Shanghai team is Kaguri. So they had to run some interesting both off-tank compositions. A lot of stuff has happened on their defense, but it's going to be offense first, and I'd be surprised if we do not see the pirate ship.
It is looking like the wind is fair today.
Oh no.
It's sunny.
I'm starting
Very
to
little
go
chop.
sailing.
Very little chop in the water. They should be able to unmoor and set sail fairly soon here. 25 seconds and counting for Shanghai Dragons.
I just like whenever you're playing that pirate game. And
I get so mad.
Yeah, because you're like, the physics aren't making any sense. Why is this sail not working? Really going into the actual sailing of ships. So like, just go steal something, man. Come on, let it go. No, it doesn't make sense.
So the Noah is telling me like, it's just a video game somewhere. And I'm like, no, this is not right. This is not how a ship works.
It's my life. They're going to set up right in front here and try to deny an ease of use of getting everything set up. Pirate ship, of course, is you put a couple shields on there, and then you put a bastion on the payload, and you try to shred the shields in front of you. Kaguri shield will go down first, but they're going to dodge that. And then it's still going to be a Widow battle, as it often is. Dia trapped for a moment, but he's going to be looking to duel here with Hureg momentarily.
Oh, there is usually that angle along the right side where you can have the road or you can have the junk. Getting greedy, looking for kills. Dia gonna take his peek. There's a shot. Not a headshot, though. And the shield will be solid. Where is Hureg in this battle? He's over hunting the back line right now. He was looking for altering. It looks like he's gonna have to make his way back over here, though, and start taking the fight straight up with Dia.
Yeah, that's why this map is so weird for Widow. There's just all these huge angles they take. They often end up behind the other team looking for giant picks. Freefield's gonna take down Gesture, see if they can res that up, but it's usually not possible with a Bastion in the mix, because even if you drop a shield in front of him, he's gonna shred through it.
They're making progress.
Yep, get a couple of nice kills. That should be about all she wrote. They're going to clean up the cart, and they will set sail onto first point. I don't think there's going to be the ability for them to even come back into this one as Prophet goes down as well. And now you see already Dia in a forward position.
Smell that, Hex?
No.
It smells like victory for Shanghai. Or maybe it's just a slow match in the cannon. The black powder on the air as Shanghai Dragons pick up the first point.
Now it's just about trying to crack this entrenched setup that they have. Refield's going to have tank mode available. Of course, regular old turret mode will crack those shields pretty well as well. Otto looking for someone in the backline, nearing up a pulse bomb, which would be nice to get up here and entrench them. They hit the halts. No follow-up, though, on the tanks up top.
No, not quite. That is really just going to be the focus now. Addo and Fearless are going to be moving in now, trying to look for the fight. There we go. Pick on Doshin to kick things off. Brayfield decides to go in, all guns blazing. Point Blank eventually will contribute to the kill on Gesture, but that's all he's going to get out of it. We'll see if he can get back in position there on his fair ship.
Still need a couple more kills to really lock this one down. They're going to bring Otto back to life during the Valkyrie. Kaguri, though, down now. Another nice kill from Dia, though. No one saw that grapple. Don't worry about it.
It still worked.
Yeah, technically it worked.
Yeah.
Not as graceful as some other grapples we've seen. They continue to get kills. Fury out of mech, making a lot of progress here. It's only Prophet left, but that's only for a brief moment. Shanghai continues to roll through on Junkertown.
So London need to figure out what's going on here. They need to light that fire, maybe refuel.
It's been their best map. They're 3 and 6 on it. It's one of their best map modes overall too. They're pretty good on this and hybrid. They've got a couple wins on Blizzard World, Shanghai. And so far, there's been no semblance of a defense for London. Only 2 kills.
Yeah, no, not really finding anything out of it. Maybe this is going to change, though, as Prophet does get the tire in here. It is going to be real tough to get it through. I like the D-Matrix there from Fury, trying to guide it through, trying to keep that tire alive as long as possible, but it just doesn't matter. As Freefield will manage to delete it, and we will have the bongos thrown down by London Spitfire, but they don't really have any targets to work with here.
Yeah, I love that disengage. They don't want to fight into it. It's very difficult. It's one of the most impactful ultimates in the game, though you don't necessarily think of it as such, but when that supercharger gets dropped, everyone gets damage amped, and they do a good job of just leaving it. Now, the problem is they let London set up wherever they want, and sometimes teams can get full held, like right here, trying to get back in can be difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Freefield still on that Bastion. Probably because he has tank mode. He is going to get body blocked out there by Fearless, who takes the hit, and there we go. Freefield trying to find the angle. Self-destruct into the open with the Halt combo. Sick work. Gesture setting it up beautifully.
Halt self-destruct has become one of the most iconic combos of Junkertown. You often see it on second point as well, as they're up on the high ground. You'll yoink them behind that shield and then self-destruct as well. Beautiful setup and execution there from London.
Ah, yeah, Fearless, he did get hooked.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
Well, they were yoinked as well. So Fearless maybe wants to review that hook and the idea there. But they did also pull a couple of people in. And now, like I said, this is a dangerous spot. Couple of nice kills come in for Shanghai, though.
Yeah, Fearless making it work there. That's a high-value target, removing Prophet from the equation. But Hurag has won the duel versus Dia. There will be the Halt out in the open. London heavily pressured now, taking quite a bit of damage. The kills keep rolling in as Fearless goes whole hog on these kids. 3 kills for him off of 1 ult. That is beautiful.
Very nice play there. It's only Gesture and Prophet alive. They're going to get a lot of push around this bend, and it's going to be good for Dia to get in the right position. If you can get set up on one of these high grounds looking down this hallway, this bend is where a lot of payloads go to die on Junkertown, but now Dia's got infra sight. They're also going to have Valkyrie as well. This tire trying to stabilize for London. Another D-Matrix escort.
Yeah, Fury's really been on the spot there, but we will get the punish coming in from Fearless, who will get that D-Mac. Follows it up with a kill on Fury. Gesture hanging on. And they are aware of where Hurag is playing from. Man, look at this. Fearless, yes. Find the hook. Remove the Widow.
He's been such a good Roadhog for this team. And when the maps that he gets to play it on, he does hit a pretty high percentage of hooks. Such an impactful Roadhog. His Winston left something to be desired, especially on the first few maps today, but he is redeeming himself.
That bongo needs to get killed. Yeah, sure enough, they will get rid of it eventually. Giguri will be finding that one. Addos removes Gesture. Fury still hanging in here with that self-destruct. We'll see if he can find any value out of it, as once again, Fearless goes whole hog, launching him bodily off the payload.
He's got him in the corner. He's going to go for the hook. He does not end up finishing the kill on the Mercy, but he's been really up in the grill of both these supports, and they've not been able to get out of there. Both will fall.
That was sick from Dia, not missing the opportunity there. Pounces, kill after kill rolling through here. It's really turning into a scrum on the last point as everybody is throwing themselves into it bodily. Eventually, though, Shanghai will be able to find the kill that might make the difference as both supports come back online. Ghost uses the trance to get out here quicker, and Nuss with the Valk Wings, they get clipped, and Shanghai Dragons will pick up 3 points on Junkertown.
With 1:46 left, that was a blazing fast offense. Some great performances there from Fearless. We'll see this triple kill. Hooked that self-destruct earlier, probably in an attempt to get it away from this team, but didn't work out that way. Makes up for it right here with a whole hog. And then once he gets past this point, he's hanging out in the hallway where both supports are trying to get out, and they just could not do anything. And even when they get out, they got out at low health. He is in the back picking them off. He's in that checkmate Widow position. They're unable to dislodge him from there, and Shanghai's home map is Junkertown. They're so good on this map. I want to see what their defense looks like, though, because like I said, they've got some compositional issues that they're going to have to work through. Some teams have run single support. They've actually run Diva and Roadhog together on this map before. See if that comes out. But they did a good job last time. Philly was making this great run. They just cleaned everyone up, but then they had this nice retreat, and they re-engaged at the last second and stopped Philly from getting a single point.
Yeah, that was the all-out warfare play. Sick to see. Shanghai Let's see if they can hold them off here and pick up that map victory at the end, save a little bit of their honor, as it is going to be London Spitfire now on the offense, Shanghai on the defense, and we're getting a better idea here of what Shanghai want to throw into it, and we could have, no, definitely not. Or is Addo going to play the Mei? Could have Mei. We see Mei on Junkertown first sometimes.
There's the supercharger stat right there, and you see it everyone gets amplified. You add 1,000 more hero damage. Both of the Orysas putting it in the right spot, and I think people are now starting to understand just how impactful it is. I think it has the greatest percentage of winning team fights when it is used, and the other team does not use it. It just does, you know, it doesn't feel as great as, you know, tapping your whole hog and launching people into the air. You're just dropping the thing for your team, but that's kind of how Orisa just is. She's a team player.
She's already got a mini ultimate in Halt.
Yeah.
Let's not complain too much about the fact that she can literally give 50% more damage to her entire team as well. So, Orisa, pretty good. The barrier goes down as well, just providing some cover. No, well, yeah, actually, we do have Doshin on the Bastion, making his way over to the point. He's going to set up shop and start just blasting anything in sight.
Shanghai is going to run a triple tank now. It is Fearless, actually, who is going to play the Orisa. He's not played Orisa previously for this team, but they want to run triple tank here, and they do want to make sure they have a D.Va as well. So Roadhog, Orisa, D.Va.
Setting it up now, Doshin. Is he going to be able to set up shop? He keeps getting discorded, and so obviously he is going to be the main point. Fearless gets caught, and he eventually does find that kill. Prophet will win the duel versus Dia, and it's going to be Hureg taking pot shots here.
Well, this puts Otto on the Widow, too, and he hasn't played a whole lot of that when Dia's been in the lineup either. So a lot of switches, a lot of new hero rotations coming in. Dia's going to go to Tracer. Fearless goes over to the Roadhog, so they are back into Roadhog D.Va territory. No Orisa for this team. So this is what has worked for them before. Now they're going to set up to re-engage. Kaguri re-engages against her will, gets hooked into the cart.
Oh, and well, now Prophet's going to get the body block. The support's out. There it is. The whole hog pin right into the wall. Nowhere for Altering to go, but back as well. So he will be of no help here to the rest of his team, who are currently dying in droves on the point.
Pushed back right into the sightline of Hureg, who will finish off Altering, and so far no defenses on Junkertown have been successful. It's been all offense.
Replay here. It's gonna be nuts. Oh, rare kills.
A headshot too. Headshot onto both DPS. And look at this, London is in a perfect position. Because they tried to contest last second, or were forced to contest and cleaned up, London's able to take this high ground, and getting a Bastion set up on this high ground is very difficult to try to deal with. They're gonna leap in. Fearless already at half health.
Oh, buddy, Hureg. That's a bit of a missed opportunity there, but Doshin might make up for it. He finds a kill on Giguri. We will have the chance thrown into it, and eventually kills himself, but not before taking free feel with him. So Altering flying high right now. We'll be able to get the res off, eliminating one of those kills. And well, it's looking like Shanghai Dragons are going to take the fight to London. Jester gets the bongos down, and they are doing a lot of damage here. London, that might be enough to turn things around.
Able to take down the bongos pretty quickly, still kind of gutting this one out. I like that Otto is on the Genji again. Probably should have run it on first. It's how they were able to shut down the opposing Bastion play on this map before, letting him get in there and deflect some of that damage while the rest of his team is there. But the transition does come in. Blade about to be up.
Oh, that was a nice hook, but it gets canceled out. New hook, the old hook, and well, Otto now, he is going to go to work. The blade is out. He finds the one kill, has to reflect, but will not quite find that parting shot. Still, they are able to really take the fight to him here. London Spitfire right now under some heavy pressure, and they are dying.
Altering does finally fall. They're looking to get back in here. It's still been kind of even right now. It's just a matter of if they can get Altering back into this. A couple of nice late kills from Feefeel onto Baby D.Va. Gonna push London back at least a little bit, and they've stabilized completely. It's a very good job of cracking that high ground that the offense had set up earlier, getting the kills they needed, and I've been very impressed with Altering over the last several weeks. We use the generic term of improvement for Shanghai, but I think he has been the one who's improved the most.
He is definitely, he is playing one of those key roles that you need to have a solid player on. Well, Dia, there we go, the stick, clean, free field gone, could get rezzed up though. Altering is flying high right now. Well, the blade right through Doshin. He will be able to get that pack back, and Fury there to watch his teammates back. Not going to let Idol get away with that for free. That does cost Jester his life. He was trying to hold out on that point, but Prophet is here with Hureg. And the main tank, sometimes you just gotta sack yourself.
Continue to push now, and now it finally seems in favor of London, but it's been a much slower way through second here for London. Remember, Shanghai finished this map all the way to completion with 1 minute and 46 left in their bank. Now it seems like with the complete transition into full dive for Shanghai is on. That's the defense they want to run.
Ult advantage is pretty serious right now. Severe for London Spitfire though, so there may be a chance to just really take advantage of it and push forward, get that time bank going. Hura gets swapped over to the McCree as well. It's going to make it more difficult for Ado and Dio to go for the big plays.
A full dive defense into a McCree and a Junkrat, in theory, should not work at all unless they get some great mechanical play.
Spance is thrown into this. They really are committing. Shanghai Dragons trying to get everything into this fight, trying to turn it their way quickly. Ado is gone, but Doshin gets traded by Dia. Still the back and forth battle here as both DPS survive, but they're losing their back line. Not able to protect them. Hurek gets cut off, and that is going to force London Spitfire to give ground.
Great tank play there. They used their mobility to get up top and separated that Mercy from the rest of the team. Got the last bits of damage that they needed from Dia, who came up the stairs. And this is a great spot for the defense to be in. Able to hold them at this point. See this replay. This is Dia rejoining the fray. Will come up and finish these kills that his tanks have started.
Now there you go. Moving together as a unit there, Shanghai. That looks very solid. So we'll see more of that. They are going to be cut off again. I like it to dive in, but Doshin's going to go ahead and ferry everybody back together. Prophet decides to go for the tire point blank. He loses his life. In the meantime, no! It's the tire that loses its life. As Doshin comes in here to try and heal him up, and while Prophet's still looking for the angles, just raining in the grenades. As Altering's Valk wears off, we're starting to lose some players here for Shanghai.
The blade only gets one. Shanghai now in full retreat mode. Prophet chasing them all the way back to spawn because he is in the safe nuzzling matrix of Fury.
Is it warm in the matrix?
Probably.
Comfortable?
That's probably some sort of ambient radiation. Keeps you warm. I don't know how it works.
Right. Well, it's like, yeah, that is actually a fairly good question. How does D-Matrix work? All right, whatever. Let's get into that later. Hureg got the Deadeye. Doesn't manage to stop the Primal, but again, the focus is so good that is a lot of damage that Fearless has taken very quickly. Doesn't help him out in the end. The single kill for Hureg with the Deadeye, but that might be good enough.
Taking it. It's going to force out a resurrection, but it's not going to be enough. You've resurrected Free Feel, he will very likely just die again in that position. He does just that. London's offense will continue to get some push here, but already a slower time, no matter what the result, than Shanghai put on this map.
So they didn't get that quick second point the same way that Shanghai did. So now with the delay, they are going to be able to contest here. One good fight from Shanghai Dragons can make all the difference as Prophet has got his tire. He's looking for the squishies in the back line. Gonna find one of them at least. Ado out of the fight, but Altering was there on top of it. Could potentially get that res off, but he decides to bring Fearless back instead.
Try to just stall this one out as Valkyrie mode is in there. It's a lot of healing. They're going to respond with a Transcendence of their own. They save that for a bit right now. Dia gets a crucial kill. Respawn is hugely in favor of the defenders right now.
This is definitely looking very good here for Shanghai Dragons. 45 seconds left on the clock here for London Spitfire, who have given ground. They backed off of the payload trying to reconvene over here, but they're still losing players as Hureg falls to Ado. It will be the reset from London Spitfire. They're going to have to fight their way back through the choke points, or they might just get caught and staggered here. This would be disastrous.
Auto did chase him out. I've got to respect Fearless's bubbles the last several times he used it. He put the self-destruct under the dome and was able to save his buddy who just got trapped there. So it's been some nice Winston play out of him so far. Now it's last push time for London. They've got a Deadeye. They're going to have Tire. They should have a Primal Rage as well. So a lot to work with. This fight could drag on.
Yes, they do have some throughput here. Greg trying to find an angle. Self-destruct right over. That's going to force him out. Two kills! Big monster play from Gaguri. Doshin and Nuss dead. And that pretty much snuffs any hope here for London Spitfire to tie this up 3-3. Now it's going to be cleanup duty for the rest of Shanghai. They get their meal. And Gesture throws himself in here with the Primal, trying to stay alive, but he is going to get focused down so quickly that it's not going to last too long. Trance is getting thrown in now by Doshin, trying to zoom his way in with Hureg as well, joining the fight. 4 players alive here for London Spitfire, trying to find the kills, and they do find a couple.
The kills they need, and now they're going to deback that. Now Otto's got another blade looking to close it out.
Yeah, sure enough, there we go, the 2 big ones. The pesky targets getting clipped. Fury gonna get dashed through as well. No, it doesn't matter. Dia finds the kill first, and that's gonna be it. Shanghai Dragons at the end will pick up a map win on Junkertown. London Spitfire will win the series.
They've been so good on this map. Gaguri finally hits a huge self-destruction. I was talking to some of our camera crew, and I'm like, where are these self-destructs? They're like, she throws them from the strangest angles, that they're so hard to find. And even when you do find them, the camera is clipping through walls because she always finds these crazy angles. A beautiful self-destruct there at the end to take out both supports, completely reset that fight. Shanghai, you know, early in the season would say, oh, they're improving, but they were still getting 4-0'd. They don't get 4-0'd anymore. They're taking maps off the best teams in the league, but it is London who comes away victorious.
Yeah, fantastic work from London. They get the job done. Shanghai Dragons still progressing, still a lot of work to do, but going into stage 4 with the meta shift and everything, things can be looking up here. They are a lot of fun to watch, and they have a whole lot of fans here in the crowd. So London Spitfire, that'll be the end of this series. We're going to hear what the desk has to say going into the next one after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
London is going to take it 3-1, but Shanghai fought back on Junkertown, and they managed to steal the last map behind some stellar play from Fearless and his Roadhog. Welcome back, everyone, to the desk. As honestly, I think like a lot of people are looking at that Junkertown matchup and saying like that is a realistic win for Shanghai because they haven't really been 4-0'd in quite a while now. No. So they've performed at those last like maps, whether it be the Control or whether it would be a map like Junkertown.
I think Junkertown's special to them. Remember last time they actually took Philly to Game 5 in Junkertown. So that map is one that teams have to take Shanghai very seriously.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they understand that map very well, and that's why they were able to get the win there. But let's take a look at the highlights first. And break this one down. We went over to Nepal, and honestly, Nepal was very quick.
It was very quick, yes. Shanghai Dragons, we talked about it in the halftime. They can't really play the Orisa because Fearless is so aggressive. So they try to make the dive happen, but when you're running into Profits, Junkrat and Fury's Roadhog, and of course Gestures Orisa. It's really hard to make it happen. And Village wasn't really much easier because you're running into a triple tank composition and you're not comfortable with the tanks, so you have to make something work, but realistically it didn't work at all.
Yeah, this is just, you know, I respect Shanghai for doing this. It's like the saying goes, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. So they're trying to run the same composition a lot, making sure that they have at least a foundation toward their improvement for a season.
That was like the most prophetic thing you've ever said. You living up to that Twitter handle. Profit crumbs, baby. Profit crumbs. I like that. And then we went over to Junkertown, though. And Junkertown was a much different look from the Dragons, a team that has performed on this map time and time again.
Yeah, Freefield subbed in, of course, playing the Bastion, and they just got rolling on this comp, and then managed to close it out. Much due to Fearless Roadhog. But London Spitfire, they show that they can play Bastion themselves, but those in the tank mode going ham. But in the end, Shanghai Dragons were able to close it out with a double support ultimate, playing that dive composition with Ado on the Genji, like we've said so many times they love to do.
Yeah, that was just I think for the Shanghai Dragons, yeah, sure, you know, you want to practice the kicks, you know, but at some point in time, you have to start
knowing how to punch.
You have to know how to punch too, right? Like if you try to roll up to someone and start kicking fools, all you're going to do is just get punched in the face.
But it's your last game at stage 4. You can afford to kick some fools.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking of, though, those compositions that they decided to run. And speaking of kicking fools, I don't know what this transition is going to. I understand you wanted to bring
I'll work with it. Yeah. So I got to
sure.
Just do it.
All right, we're going along.
So we keep saying that the Shanghai Dragons, when they're playing the Paul, they don't really get to play all the compositions that are meta to the maps. And that's exactly what happens. But they try to make it work. So let's jump into it and take another look. And if you take a look at what Shanghai has here, so we're in Sanctum, and they're not running what Spitfire are running, which is pretty common here. You've got the Roadhog, the Orisa, the Junkrat, and the Widowmaker. Lots of long distance there. Instead, they're going full dive. You've got Tracer, you've got Genji, you've got Winston Diva, and to make matters even faster, you've got Moira and the Lucio. So Shanghai Dragons are going to try to go and dive the London Spitfire, but it looks really funny because they're going to be circling each other for about a minute. These guys, the London Spitfire, recognize what Shanghai is doing, and they're just going to go around the Rosie for like 2 laps.
This is Benny Hill right here.
Yeah, look at them. London just running around. Now they're in each other's spawn, and now they're going to try to settle in. But Shanghai, no, we can't take this. We don't have a Widow or Junkrat. We got to go around again. And so they keep chasing each other. And it's only at this point where Shanghai decides, screw it. We might as well go in here. Speed boost is fading, and it doesn't work.
But you can see all that range, right? Just shredding them. There was simply nothing that they could do.
Of course, because you've got the Widowmaker and the Junkrat. It's so far away. Nobody's shooting it. So they're trying to play it. I think they actually could have just chased them around the entire time, forced London. Somebody's got to give in. But it looked really fun.
The problem is when you're playing the dive composition, especially on Sanctum, it's such a large area to dive upon, right? So you want to close on the distance to make sure you take less damage going into the dive, so you can sustain throughout the dive and get more picks. So you don't want to take so much damage initially before the fight happens, and that's why they're running around, because they want to minimize the distance they have to leap with the Winston and the Genji.
They only have 2 seconds of Diva Matrix. That matters a lot.
Yeah, it really does. But then to Junkertown, though, and again, I had mentioned this before, improvement from the Dragons consistently on this map. And Fearless, I mean, this guy was having a show on that Roadhog. Very impressive stuff, by the way. Any thoughts with the Roadhog, Johnny? You seem like you wanted to take this one.
I'm a main tank, sure. My Roadhog is great. I just never get to show it. So I like to believe that every main tank in the league can play the Roadhog, but they just never get the chance to. And this is just dirty. It's just pushing the Baby Diva into the corner. Nobody puts Baby Diva into the corner. Or I guess in this case, because Baby Diva died. But overall, yes, this Roadhog was so great because it made space for Freefield's Bastion. And it's pretty easy to dive a Bastion generally. You can set up a plan. But when you have a Roadhog popping off like Fearless did here, it's so hard to manage 2 things at once, right? You need to shut down Fearless Roadhog and Freefield's Bastion at the same time. So hard to make that work when Fearless is just popping off like it did.
Yeah, they just have such a great understanding of that map once again, though. But now we got to go for our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP, and it is going to be Fury. And oh man, I wish Bren were here because he's just the biggest Fury fanboy in the world.
We should all be today. We don't know what Bren says what he said. Fleta is his own Fleta.
So I have a theory, right? Bren, he just likes cool words. So he always praises Striker, right? And it's like, Striker, that's such a cool word. And then it's Fury, like, whoa, Wrath, you know, destructive. Fury, it's
You're
a cool
right.
word.
It's only players
So,
with actual words and names that mean something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
We're really getting down to the
I like
crux of
Bunny.
it.
Bunny is a cool guy.
But Fury is your player of the match.
I do not want to psychoanalyze Bren.
And I would not want you to psychoanalyze Bren, but we have to analyze Fury in that instance.
He was amazing.
match.
The reason why Fury was such a standout today is because the Shanghai Dragons really are super aggressive. They're going to be going in all the time. That's what they're doing. These fights last like 2 minutes long. So Fury, as a diva, not only do you get the bonus of just melting down the opposing team tanks, but you protect your own carries. That's what he did, so he gets player of the game.
There you have it.
Matt.
There we have it.
Simple. Easy.
From
Easy
the man
stuff. You don't even know what I'm doing with my hand movements right now. There you have it. Okay, so that's going to do it for us here. The London Spitfire managed to get the victory 3-1 against the Shanghai Dragons. But don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we have a great matchup. It's going to be the Seoul Dynasty going up against the Houston Outlaws. Hopefully you join us for that one. It seems like everyone here is excited for it. So we'll see you in just a few. Plenty more Overwatch coming at you in just a bit.